Ready? And we're back with Shades of Green, and I'm Paul Ira, your host, with Stan Hannell, Tom Polikalis.
Thank you.
And
you'll get it eventually.
And Marie Steele, and Annette move back. We're going to talk a little bit with Stan and Marie about electric vehicles and have them converse a little bit. We'll ask Marie a few questions here about how did you, well, tell us about your experience in the energy industry. How did you get in?
How did I get in? So I started in it about 15 years ago, actually, here at the Department of Energy in Nevada. I grew up in the Midwest as a Chicago girl. My background is finance, and I started to get into financial jobs and just realized that I wanted to do something that actually mattered. And so I started in the energy industry, and I have fell in love and haven't left a day since. But in that, you know, I went back and did my Master's of Business in Spain and focused on sustainability and strategy. And actually, my internship ended up being around electric vehicle racing. And so that's one thing that people actually didn't know, that is that there's actually a Formula E now. So it's Formula One that's electric. While Stan got into EVs much sooner than I did, our Nevada resident electric vehicle person. Oh my goodness, we're so lucky to have him. But it was about 2011 is when I got into EVs, and I just, you know, and renewable energy and sustainability. I just, as people who know me, I'm passionate about it.
It is addictive. Not as bad as crack, but it's addictive. So, what are your current passions for, or as they say, what's your shade of green?
What's my shade of green? I'm pretty dark green, I would say. I believe in it, but I believe in the economics of it, and I think that's what's so great about SWEEP and the different messaging. And I think that's one of the things that people don't truly understand, is there truly is economics behind a lot of the green messaging now, and so many business opportunities that can be supported across the board.
Good. I put a note on Facebook that I was doing the show, and people started writing about, you know, are you passing up political views on climate change and all that,
No.
which we're not. And so I appreciate you saying that you're in the economic side. I'm in the conservation efficiency side. We all have our reasons for being here. I don't think any of us are what would be termed tree huggers. I hope that's not an offensive term, but anyway, back to the show. What is NV Energy's position on electric vehicle transportation? What are they doing to promote this?
So they've been a long promoter of it. So our electric vehicle program has actually been in place since about 2009. It started with electric vehicle time of use rates that Tom spoke of to really help people that wanted to, especially at the time, be an early adopter, to push them to charging their vehicles off-peak. And if we can get electric vehicle penetration off-peak, it actually helps all customers, because then we're more efficiently using our fleet of generation when we have excess capacity at night, because we've built the strip for the capacity for the air conditioning load on August.
Right, yeah. Hottest day of the year.
Right, exactly. So in 2009, you know, we have electric vehicle time of use rates. We have a commitment through the Edison Electric Institute for fleet electrification. So we have a lot of electric vehicles in our fleet, including the electrification of our boom trucks, which helps with idle reduction and actually noise noise pollution, you know, which has been a fantastic success. So we try to lead by example with that. We offer free public charging at all of our facilities to the public and our employees. But the big things where we've started to partner to get electric vehicle charging infrastructure out in Nevada to help get people into cars. You know, it's the chicken and the egg kind of conversation. So in 2013, we partnered with about 50 of our commercial customers to double electric vehicle charging infrastructure in Nevada. And then the commercial customers have really driven it past there to continue to install chargers, especially on the Strip. I have to give great credit to our casino partners, MGM, Caesars, all those guys. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many charging stations are on the Strip. And then lastly is our Nevada Electric Highway partnership with the Governor's Office of Energy, Valley Electric. It really has been this absolutely fantastic all-in partnership across the state to get our corridors electrified, and to point out the fact that those charging stations are free, and they will be for the next 5 years, is a fantastic way to increase penetration in Nevada.
That's great. That leads right into my next question, is about the availability of charging stations. So somebody buys an EV, electric vehicle, where can they charge it? You know, I know that's going to be a concern because you've got some limits to the distance you can go, so that when they're planning trips and what have you. and your electric highway. And just want to know more about employers. Are there employers stepping up, putting in charging stations? And where are charging stations already available?
Everywhere, and you just didn't know it. So there's a multitude of different places that you can look online to see where there is all public charging stations. Through Nevada Electric Vehicle Accelerator, which Stan is with, they have, that points us out, where does it go to
Plugshare.com.
Plugshare,
Yeah.
Plugshare.com.
Plugshare.com. A good portion of the charging infrastructure in Nevada is ChargePoint enabled. That is the largest charging network in the United States right now. So that's another one, ChargePoint.com. So there's different places that you can see it where, you know, these charging stations are quote unquote smart, like your smartphone, so that you can look on your app or look online and that you can find them. But the employers are stepping up and public infrastructure is there. But what to point out in Nevada, what is really important is that most people are charging at home. You know, you have a small commute. We live in these valleys. So most of your driving, you're either going to be charging at your workplace or charging at your home. So we really need to be focusing on expanding that charging availability next.
So for overall consciousness of the environment, what's the best time to charge?
Off-peak.
Off-peak. Tell us about off-peak.
I mean, off-peak, the one that we most incentivize is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So you want to be able to use when we have the excess capacity, but you can't make that as a blanket statement across the United States because everybody's load profile is different. So in Nevada, you know, we have a much higher air conditioning usage, so our peak looks very different than, say, you know, somewhere else with California. So it's a very site-specific conversation, but for our lovely Nevadans, it is 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay. I read somewhere about something called the Shared Investment Program.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
So that was a program that I quickly referenced, but don't give enough applaud to in for our commercial customers and the community in general, the business community. And so in 2013, we did partner with our commercial customers, so it's at airports, it's at shopping malls, it's at the casinos, it's at the universities, to provide free public charging. So you don't have to pay for the first 5 years. I think we're on the back 2.5 years of it right now. But we partner with our commercial customers to put charging infrastructure out into Nevada, and it's been a great way to increase penetration in the market.
And how about employers? What employers are stepping up to the plate and putting charging stations in their parking lots?
All the casinos, to be honest. You know, they have fantastic sustainability programs, and they have different ways that they can earn points for doing sustainability actions. All of them. I mean, it's been Sands, it's Caesars, it's MGM. You know, what's been fantastic, not just from an employee perspective, but when you talk with the people who are driving those initiatives in those companies, it's the consumers that are actually demanding it as well. So they're continuing to install additional EV chargers there because more people just want it. You know, they're coming in from different markets from California, and it's fantastic to see that people are requiring that as a consumer.
Great. We're getting close again to bringing in our sponsors to talk about our show. So any parting comments here?
Just a quick, what Maria described in terms of consumer interest is another opportunity for the state of Nevada. There are some conventions that have come. Tesla Motors Club owners recently had their national convention up in Reno because the Atlantis Casino had installed Tesla chargers. So just an opportunity to promote Nevada as a great green state, and that has some economic development potential as well.
All right, thank you, Tom. And with that, we'll be right back.